Hello, this is the Strawville Daily News Digital Express. I'm sports editor of the Strawville Daily News, Danny P. Smith. And this is Joel Coleman, our Mississippi State beat writer. And contrary to popular belief, we're not canceled.
Not us.
We're continuing with our sports talk, although there may not be much to talk about, Joel, because everything's being canceled because of the coronavirus, the pandemic that seems to be sweeping the nation, and who knows where this is going to end, but it's been a lot happening already, and it's affecting us locally with Mississippi State sports.
Yeah, there's not going to be anything. Obviously, the SEC men's tournament has been canceled. Not going to be any SEC baseball through at least March the 30th. Home or away, that's been released too. Hadn't had an announcement on spring football yet. I would be shocked if that's not pushed back at the very least.
Right.
We'll see. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird to even do a show because we're in uncharted waters here. I'm only, the strapping age of 34 going on 35. The only thing I can even compare this to, I guess, in my lifetime, kind of I don't want to say the freak out, because I do think it needs to be taken care of. That's probably the wrong way to say it, but I think of Y2K a little bit. I think of the days after 9/11 a little bit as just moments of my lifetime where there was some uncertainty and you just didn't know what moment to moment, day to day, what was going to bring.
Right.
I don't know that this is anything that anybody walking the face of the planet right now has ever really dealt with. I guess the good news is, not that I don't want to get down a medical field here, because Lord knows I'm not a doctor, but the good news is it seems like, if it's something that if you call it, you're probably going to be okay for the most part. I know there's a percentage that you may not be, but it's by and large something that you get over. But speaking of getting over, this is something that if it takes canceling a few games and you miss a month or two or a week or two or whatever it is of sports, I know it's inconvenient. I know you and I do this for a living, and a lot of people out there, sports is their recreation. But if you save a life or two in the grand scheme of things, it's okay if you miss a few ball games. So there's that angle too. I get both sides of it. I think there's a lot of, in 2020, it's not cool to see things two ways. You always got to be on one side or the other. But I think there's two lanes here. It's kind of okay to be a little bit frustrated by it. Is it overblown? Is it not? Who knows? But if you can save a life or two, isn't that worth it too? So yeah. I guess that's kind of where I sit on all of it. But it's strange times, and I don't know. Does the SEC sit around as far as baseball goes? Do they reschedule it? I guess at this point you don't even know when you're starting back, so you can't. I don't know what Greg Sankey and company's doing right now. Are they sitting and trying to say, well, if we start here, we do this, and if we start here, we do this? And uncharted waters, like I said, there isn't anything to say. I guess basketball-wise, Mississippi State, I don't know if anybody's going to be in the NCAA tournament. The SEC tournament getting canceled, if there is a tournament, probably means that they wouldn't, because they probably need to win a game or two in Nashville, which now obviously isn't going to happen.
Right. And you don't have an automatic qualifier now, but
it would be Kentucky because they won the regular season crown. I think that would be the automatic qualifier. But as we sit here right now, I was talking with a fellow a while ago. I haven't seen this reported, but it may have been reported. Y'all may have seen it reported that I think Kansas and Duke have said even if there is a tournament, they're not going to be in it. So I can't imagine they're going to have an NCAA tournament without Kansas or Duke.
Right.
So it's going to shock me if they even play the thing. We'll see. But uncharted territory, I don't know, man. I don't know that or anybody knows really what's next.
It's all happened so fast. Like within the last couple of days, first the NCAA came out with their statement saying they weren't going to let any fans into their event, and then of course that trickles down to all the conferences. That's the Big 12, and then the SEC, and then all the others start taking the same stance. But then the conferences say, no, we're just going to cancel our events altogether. NCAA, to my knowledge, hasn't mandated that happens. But the conferences have taken it upon themselves to cancel these things. So.
Well, you're at a point where, the NBA has suspended its season. The NHL has suspended its season. Major League Baseball has has called off spring training basically, and has said opening day is going to be pushed back at least 2 weeks. All the major professional sports in this country are shutting down. You're running into a situation now where it's a health crisis too, but I mean, there's a point of it too where, I mean, if you keep going and, I don't know, say a player has it and then he plays another team and somebody over there catches it, and so you run into, litigation issues, you run into all kinds of problems, and so it's probably just pretty safe thing to do to just kind of shut it down and things. But it creates kind of a weird situation now where for a lot of folks, I mean, it's our living, and for a lot of folks it's their recreation, and when all that goes away, it kind of puts you in a spot in life even where you're just kind of uncertain, and where there's uncertainty there kind of creates a little anxiousness, and so
coaches are wondering what's next. I mean, do they need to keep preparing their athletes for something or nothing, or for the next season? They just really don't know.
Yeah, and for baseball purposes, I mean, I think Greg Sankey was addressing this in an interview a while ago, and he didn't have the answer to it, but do you give some of these guys an extra year of eligibility if a lot of this season is canceled or isn't played, or what do you do? A lot of question marks now.
I think the right decision was probably made to go ahead and not have the events at all, because it's going to be it would have been very awkward to have events with no fans, and the fans crazies might try to find their way to try to get in. You could have some confrontations and something that doesn't need to happen.
And I guess I would rather, I'm the type that I would rather us do the SDN Digital Express in a week or two and look back and say, boy, they really an overreaction there. Really just went overboard. As opposed to here in a week or two, we're saying, why didn't they cancel everything sooner? Why wouldn't it? Why? I guess I'm on the you might as well play it safe side, because I know there's money. I know there's. Look around the Starkville community, and let's say this lasts for a month or two. No Super Bowl all weekend. No spring game. Who knows what the summer holds? Is this still going on in the fall? Does it affect football? Which a lot of businesses and things around here, that's their livelihoods.
Especially in an SEC town.
Yeah. So, I know there's economic impacts. I know there's, personal way of life conflicts and things. I don't know if there's a perfect answer, but at the end of the day, I think that it's probably best to err on the side of caution. And like I said, if you save a life or two, it's worth it. And it does create, though, a little uncertainty. Well, hopefully it doesn't create too much panic. I hope that there's toilet paper left at Kroger. I hope that everything ends up A-okay. And, it's at the end of the day, most everything that we've ever went through in life, this too shall pass, I guess, and it usually does. So we'll see where it ends up. But right now it's a little uncertain, and hopefully this is as stressful as it gets. It's just a little uncertain, and then here in a month or two we're right back to life as normal. But right now it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Well, we haven't heard anything about how it's going to affect the high schools in the area. We've seen junior colleges have taken some steps at least to postpone classes coming back. They were on their spring breaks too.
Yeah, and I believe Starkville High has announced that as of right now, as of this moment, as we record, and it's Thursday afternoon, that classes will resume on Monday. I believe.
I think everything's good there.
So as far as that goes.
And I read a statement from the Mississippi High School Activities Association, and their sports medicine people are trying to educate people about exactly what this is, and right now they're just kind of taking a wait and see kind of attitude, but they're trying to update everybody and just keep everybody updated on exactly just tell them to prepare and be cautious and do the wash the hands thing and everything that everybody's been talking about lately. But we'll keep you updated the best we can here, and we'll come back next week with another Digital Express. Not sure what we'll talk about yet, but
in the meanwhile, I'd encourage everybody to find something to chuckle about a little bit.
Exactly.
Laugh. Best cure for anxiety. Find a little humor in life somewhere. So.
Well, that sounds good to me. But until next time, I'm Danny P. Smith and Joel Coleman, and we'll see you next week.